Welcome everyone to After the Bell. I am Jeff Meacham. Thank you all for your patience. I know everybody went on YouTube yesterday morning and it was like, where's Jeff? And to be perfectly honest with you, it was chaos and mayhem and destruction here yesterday, so I apologize for not getting the show taped and filmed before I took off. But just stuff needed to happen yesterday that took precedence over the show. But you guys are important too, and I feel that I let y'all down, so I apologize for that, and I apologize also for the beard, but you can blame the Kings for that because they are one day away from going 4-0 against Vancouver. Isn't that right, Lisa? That's right. Looking forward to that. I got some good questions for you today. I've only got a few, but I'm going to try to elaborate as best I can, give you some really good answers, and if I don't, well, this is extreme mayhem. Anyway, this is from Ian Wurr. Hey Jeff, dig the show. My question is, which of the superstars on the current WWE roster would have made an impact in the Attitude Era? I think CM Punk and Dolph Ziggler would have excelled without the limitations enforced on their characters by the PG rating. Well, yeah, remember, a lot of what CM Punk is doing now is what Austin did. Rebellion against authority, and you know, going against the grain, being different, and not being your typical wrestling superstar. And that was very much Stone Cold back in the day. Plus, you know, if Punk would have been around in the same era as Austin, he would have excelled mainly to feud with Austin. You gotta remember, back then, Stone Cold was a beer-swilling, finger-giving, you know, foul-mouthed SOB who didn't take no from nobody. And Punk was straight edge, and he would, you know, tell Austin that, you know, you don't need to be a beer drinker to be a WWE champion, and blah blah blah. It would have been good for those to interact. As far as Dolph Ziggler did do good in the Attitude Era. His name was Billy Gunn. This is from Jonathan Roderick. Jeff, I have two questions. Number one, what are your top 5 matches that The Undertaker had at WrestleMania? Hell in a Cell. No question. Number 1 with Triple H. Take your pick of the Shawn Michaels matches, but I'll go with 25. Kane, the first time. Triple H at WrestleMania 17. WrestleMania 12. Number 2, if for one night TNA went head-to-head with WWE on the same pay-per-view, what would your dream matchups be? Dixie Carter versus Stephanie McMahon in a street fight in their business suits. That's it. 3 hours of that. It's not going to happen. That's why I don't answer those kind of questions. I love the if this TNA WWE. It's not going to happen. It's not WCW, where they are going to get in such financial peril that they have to sell the Vince. Panda Energy has money from here to Tuesday. Well, today's Tuesday, so their money's out today. Crap! Okay, it'll happen. It's not going to happen, guys. I'd love to see a WWE TNA pay-per-view, but it's not. They do have a working agreement, apparently, because Flair was on the Hall of Fame, and now they're going to have a WWE superstar appear on one of the TNA DVDs. That's the rumor that's going around. Curious to see what happens. We might see Jinder Mahal on a TNA DVD. Yes! Booyah! And his hat. And his hat. William Matthews. I understand that William Regal is semi-retired and he is doing his thing on either NXT or FCW. Do you think he should have at least one title in his name by winning either the World Heavyweight or WWE Championships? I will never, ever say that William Regal did not deserve to be a world champion. But at this stage of his career, he's not going to be a world champion. And I don't think I don't even think he needs that on his resume at this point. I think that William Regal can retire in the fact he was the greatest European champion that company ever had. He was a decent Intercontinental champion. He had a couple of good tag team title runs. He was a bad A king of the ring. Arguably the greatest commissioner besides Mick Foley in the history of WWE. Regal can retire in the fact that he was a great champion of what he had. He was a great commissioner. He's a tremendous personality. He's a great commentator. That's why I had him on my broadcast team for the Fantasy Fed. But I don't think that he needs to have a world championship on his resume. I think that's unnecessary. I think it's unnecessary. This one is from Henry Arnold. Hey Jeff, got a question for you. Who do you think has the better figure four, Tito Santana or Ric Flair? This is from Spain, where Henry is. Tito Santana and Greg Valentine had a great figure four battle in the mid '80s around WrestleMania time and before and after that over the figure four. But nobody's figure four can touch Ric Flair's. Or even Buddy Rogers. Let's go back that far, folks. Buddy Rogers was the innovator of the figure four leg lock before Ric Flair even thought of using it. So if we're going to talk about Buddy Rogers had the greatest figure four of all time, Ric Flair was just the impersonator who happened to make it impactful. But when was the last time Ric Flair won a match with the figure four leg lock? Before he retired. Let's be real. Matt Ryan Godfrey. How would you set up a match between Brock Lesnar and CM Punk? Would you have Paul Heyman involved? I think Paul should be involved now. I miss Paul Heyman. And for all that Brock has done in the last 8 years, his speaking ability is still not the greatest in the history of the world. So he needs a mouthpiece, and Paul would be great in that role. And plus, they're real life friends. Paul's, I believe, his real manager, if I'm not mistaken correctly. And it'd be great to have him back, but Paulie wants to come back on Paulie's terms. That's not going to happen. As far as the match itself, I don't know, other than, Brock going through Cena and saying that he's the best because he beat the best, and Punk goes, really? I'm the best in the world. Prove it to me. That's the only thing I would do. Alistair Kiefer. Hey Jeff, if Sting was to go into the WWE Hall of Fame, who could you see inducting him? I could see Ric Flair being the one to induct him. Well, we talk about Sting almost every week on this show about Hall of Fame or coming back or blah 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 or going to WWE and for Sting to be inducted, I think only Ric Flair can induct him. Ric Flair was Sting's greatest rival. You could have Hogan do it, but Hogan's more intimidating than Flair is. You could have a number of the WCW guys that are there now do it, but let's be real. Who could induct Sting more than Ric Flair? Who?
Luger.
Luger maybe because it was his best friend. Can Luger walk? I'm not sure if Luger's walking yet. That would look kind of awkward. I don't know if Luger wanted to put himself through that. But Flair is my obvious choice. Yes, absolutely. Ric Flair coming out there and strutting out there to the stage and telling Sting stories and doing the woo and, the whole thing would be great television. But that's if Sting would ever take a Hall of Fame induction from Vince McMahon. That's the key. He's made it clear more than one occasion he does not want to work for WWE. Or even with them in any capacity. So why would he start now? Andrew Duggan. Hi Jeff, if you and JJ formed a tag team, what would you name it? What music would you come out to? What would be your finishing move? And who would you have as your manager? Our tag team name, Jay. Dads on Wrestling is too hokey for an actual wrestling tag team name. We'll come back to that.
We will answer that on Dads on Wrestling.
There we go. That's what, Thursday? Thursday show. We'll answer that on Thursday's show. We'll let you know. We'll give you the whole answer.
Give us time to think about it.
Yeah, it's kind of a spot question there. All right, these two are from Twitter. Ian at Ian Caven. Who do you think will be the next WWE woman in the Hall of Fame? Sable. Sable. Don't ask me why. I can't tell you. Sable. JY619, this is Jeff Yelnick on Twitter. How much more do you think John Cena would get if he were to fail a drug test and get suspended? He would never live that one down. Ever. It would be the end. It'd be the end. For all the Rise Above Hate t-shirts and all the green Celtics ugly things that are going around now and everything, if he fails a drug test and is out for 30 days, it's over. Over. That's my boy. It's John. If he fails a drug test, forget it. Because all those kids that look up to him as a positive role model and he's doing drugs, not a good day, Granddad. Not a good day at all. Again, I apologize for the lateness of this week's show. Monday was crazy. I haven't even watched Raw yet. And I will not have time today either. So, Raw will be watched tomorrow when I get home. God help me. And you can't see it from where you sit, but Casa 18 Studios looks like Casa 18 Hurricane. Not the worker. So, we are busy folks this week. We will get to RSI, tomorrow's movie review. I forget what it is already. We got Longest Yard, isn't it? I believe tomorrow's review is The Longest Yard, starring Adam Sandler, Chris Rock, and half the WWE roster, plus Kevin Nash. I think Goldberg's in that too. Yeah, I don't count him because it's Goldberg. But again, tune into that. Tune into Dad's. We'll answer that guy's question. Tune in Friday for Staff Boy Rants. And again, if you liked the show this week, thank you all for watching. This is After Bill with Jeff Meacham. If you didn't enjoy the show, well, this is Extreme Mayhem with Mike Nagel and Jeff Meacham. Yeah, have a good day.